Okay, let's just jump right in because what we're talking about here, it's honestly one of the biggest power shifts we've seen maybe ever. I mean, since the whole idea of a country even began. This is about a future where big companies aren't just, lobbying governments. They're actually starting to become them.
Sounds crazy, right? Like something out of a sci-fi movie? But that question? That's what this is all about. We're going to break down how this isn't some far-off future, it's happening now. And what does it even mean when you can't tell the difference between a country and a corporation anymore? And this right here, this image really just nails it, doesn't it? You've got the old guard, the king on the chessboard, representing the power of a nation. And on the other side, a server rack. I mean, that's the new player in the game. Raw computing power, massive amounts of cash, and its own set of rules. Believe me, this is way more than just a clever metaphor. This is the new battlefield.
So you've got to ask, how on earth did we get to this point? Well, it's like we've walked into this high-stakes auction room, but what's on the block? It's not art, it's not oil, it's sovereignty, the very idea of a nation's independence. And the people bidding? Let's just say they have more money than most of the countries they're bidding on. And what's really fascinating here is the change in how these conversations happen. It used to be called lobbying, right? Trying to influence politicians. Now, it's negotiating. Think about that. That's a conversation between equals. These tech CEOs aren't asking for favors anymore. They're showing up to the table like world leaders, ready to make deals for actual land and legal power. And if you want to understand the sheer scale of this, just look at this number. $185 billion. That's what a single company, Alphabet, is spending on infrastructure in 1 year. To put that into perspective for you, that's more than the entire economic output of countries like Hungary or Kuwait. That's the kind of money that gets you a seat at the big table. That's the firepower that lets you negotiate with a sovereign nation. So, this all leads to the how. What's the actual mechanism that makes this whole thing possible? It's a totally new concept, and it's literally redrawing the map of the world, but not with ink. It's being redrawn with fiber optic cables. Get ready for the Cloud Embassy. Okay, so what in the world is a Cloud Embassy? The easiest way to think about it is like a regular embassy. The American embassy in France is technically American soil. A cloud embassy is the same idea, but for a data center. It's a real building on foreign land that legally acts like its own tiny sovereign country, completely separate from the laws of the nation it's physically sitting in. And that's where this next idea comes in. Digital jurisdiction. And this is absolutely key. Inside that data center, inside that cloud embassy, the local laws, they just don't matter. Instead, the laws of, say, California, where the company's based, or even wilder, the company's own terms of service. That's the law. It's not just redrawing the map anymore. It's like they're taking an eraser to it and writing in a whole new set of rules. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why? Why would any country on Earth agree to this? Why would you just give away a piece of your own power? Well, it all comes down to a deal. Let's break down what's being traded. So here's the deal, and it's a big one. On one side, you have smaller nations. They get a golden ticket to the future, right? We're talking cutting-edge AI, a massive injection of cash into their economy. But what they're giving up in return, it's huge. The tech companies get legal immunity, they can't be touched, and complete control over the rules inside their little kingdom. It's a simple trade, really, power in exchange for progress. But of course, there's a catch. There's always a catch. This deal comes with a pretty big hidden cost, a long-term danger that people are starting to call the Silicon Trap. And that's where this shiny gift of progress starts to feel a lot more like a cage. And this trap leads straight to something called a digital monoculture. Just picture this for a second. Imagine your country. Now imagine that the entire system for collecting taxes, for proving you're a citizen, for running the whole economy is all built on one single company's private software. At that point, is your country really in control anymore? And here's the playbook for how it happens. Step 1. A tech giant swoops in with a massive investment. Step 2. The local economy gets completely hooked on this new tech. Everything starts to run on it. Step 3. To keep the money flowing, the nation starts giving up more and more control. And then, the final step, the checkmate move. The company has the pull-out threat. They can just threaten to leave, and if they do, the entire country's economy could literally implode overnight. That's leverage. So, where does this all lead? What's the endgame here? Well, when a company runs a country's most basic services, and a boardroom in Silicon Valley writes the laws, you don't just have a new kind of country. You have a completely new model for what it even means to govern. And this visual just says it all. You can see the final transformation right here.
All the value, all the data, all the power, it's flowing one way, away from the nation and toward the corporation. And that changes everything about your relationship with your country. You're not just a citizen anymore. Now you're a user.
And that's what we call the subscription state. It's a totally new way of thinking about it, where government services, maybe even your basic rights, are connected to a corporate platform. Your benefits as a citizen start to look an awful lot like loyalty points on a rewards card.
So let's bring this all the way back to you. I mean, think about it. What happens when your rights as a citizen can be changed just by a company updating its terms of service? What does it mean when you can be deplatformed, not from a social media app, but from your own country?
So at the end of the day, that's the big question we're left with, isn't it? Is this just the next step, a necessary upgrade for the nation-state in a digital world? Or are we all just standing by, watching it get sold off, bit by bit, to whoever writes the biggest check? Because that's the future that's on the table right now.